Ladies, gentlemen, and brethren, we are live across the UK. We're live across the world for this evening's Solomon Live. My name is Brodie. I'm the Provincial Communications Officer of the Distinguished Province of Worcestershire, and also the host of these monthly webinars of lively, engaging Freemasonry conversation. Now, you probably noticed that things look a little bit different this evening. There's a reason for that. I've been let out of my box, my office at home, and I'm now in Freemasons Hall in the Museum of Freemasonry for a night at the museum. Now, things may look a little bit different for us tonight, but you can still submit your questions by the question and answer facility on Zoom. So, night at the museum. Wouldn't it be good if we could catch up with the curator of the museum, Mark Dennis? How are you, sir?
Very well, thank you.
You are reading like so I'm not really used to seeing things on a screen. So just double checking.
Well, I feel the same way. You've actually got a bag. You know, I expect to see things in front. I'm very used to being in this place covered with antiques and fine things. I'm not expecting to start your enterprise on the other side of this counter.
You should see the amount of tech that we've got, Brendan, and hopefully we might be able to share that with you on social media. So what we like to do is get to know you before we talk about this wonderful place and the artifacts and the objects that you've got here. So let's begin with your story. What brought you to this wonderful museum as a curator? What was your journey? How did you get here?
Slightly odd. I didn't start as a historian. I was actually a civil servant, Ministry of Defence, Customs and Excise. And by the time I got into my history book, Customs and Excise was starting to create its very first public museum, because people thought they were powerful, sinister, and in strange clothes.
Okay, so it sounds almost familiar, that, isn't it?
Well, it may be to you, but I can't see it myself. But anyway, I ended up as the service curator. Loved it. I actually got to meet the Duke of Kent, because we did an exhibition in Gravesend, and he opened it. So I got the curator involved. And after a long time, various other things like human resources, historic building management, I did quite like. I decided after much manipulating I ever was going to be a customs officer. So I did switch what happened in uniform, took a master's, and went out to the great wide world to we lived.
So how long have you actually been here?
I got here in 1999.
Now, I didn't realise that you've actually been here for so long. So what have things changed over the years, would you say? So we're talking 24 years now.
A lot's changed. Openness was coming around. People remember NQ, the very first magazine, which was current replacement. I remember the very first VR campaign happening. And generally, things are much more relaxed, and the people who come are much more relaxed than the industry. And the building is much more friendly than it was. It was friendly.
Yes.
You had to have that's push big bronze doors and come in.
So it's interesting to hear how that's changed. I think many of us might be surprised when you say that. And we need to talk here as well, don't we? We need to talk about the kind of visitors that you get here as well. I mean, is it mostly Freemasons? Is it members of the public? A bit of both?
It's changed. When I got here, it was very much Freemasons and concentrated tourists. Now we're getting lots and lots of people coming here who know a little about Freemasons and want to know more. They're exploring their families' connections. So there's a lot of people who've heard of Freemasonry, had a Freemason in the family. They like to know that connection. I'm very often getting people come here with a suitcase that they've never opened, and you have to rebuild the man from the things in the suitcase. That's going to change too, because now, of course, you're going to talk about Freemasonry. So that connection will be made from the lifetime of the man, which will be much nicer.
Absolutely. And there's probably a lot of people watching all over the country, all over the world, that want me to ask you, are you a Freemason?
No, I'm not.
So you're not a Freemason. Have you got any Freemasons in the family?
Oh, there's a few lurking around. Dad, our past was in forces of the vice to Williamson, and just maths school world in Rochester, which also called a certain Mr. Spence, or Rose, my father. My grandfather was actually a Freemason in Gibraltar in the Dockyard. And ironically, his lodge was Robert Freefield, the great Sunday historian. So through that, my mother, which is what I yes,
which is probably the reason, isn't it? Now, we need to talk about as well what's it like for you when you walk in this building every day. So I come to quite a few meetings here, and I think this building is magnificent. It's probably, no, I would say my favourite building in London. What's it like for you to come in here every single day and know that you're the curator of this particular museum?
It's a big freedom. It's an architectural triumph, but it's actually rather a hybrid building. You've got wood panel corridors, you might be doing 1890s, and then you turn it on something black, architecture. And also, it's a building that's doing what it's designed to do. Even South Gallery of this museum, pretty much as you can see in 1933, in the library, we've restored the floors. You get a real sense of what it's meant to look like.
And that's really special, isn't it? That's the sense of history that we all pray for in my museum. That authenticity.
Authenticity is exactly it. A lot of museums redesign themselves to the point where they look like theme parks. This, I hope, is sort of on the cusp of being both entertaining and informing and just beautiful.
And when you get people coming here from all different walks of life, Freemasons, not Freemasons, are there any regular questions that come up when they're talking to you, or talking to you when you start and you go here?
There are always conspiracies. We deconstruct that and demystify it because it's very different from small businesses. Yeah, obviously, we don't just have ceremonies. They're also very curious about the sort of people who become Freemasons.
But people like me, for example. I mean, you know, that is everybody from every single walk of life. Now, let's talk about some of the objects, definitely, Mark, that you've chosen, personally big ones, and we'll get everybody else to see those as well. But what I thought we could do is talk about why this museum and library is so special, and why people should come into this space.
It is special. It's one of the oldest museums in the country. We're decades older than the Science Museum of Natural History. In terms of museums, about 2,500 museums in the country. 1,700 of them by us accredited, which means they do things in the right way, ethically. Only 155 I think have a designated collection. And what that means is the government, through the Arts Council, has acknowledged your collections being national and international borders. Wow. 155 out of 2,500.
Wow.
It's so full of personal stories, stories about the organisation, things to do with modern people, beautiful objects. One of the reasons I'm still here, because I do occasionally write articles, I've done the silver strata, I've got decorative art medallions, trench art. There's no end to the stories you can tell in this collection. And whatever your interest, whether you're a Freemason or not, there's something here for you.
Yeah, and actually talking about it, just talked about your own personal life here, 24 years. I mean, you must be in love with this place, obviously, to spend so much time here, being a quarter of century.
It wasn't the plan. I believe when I got bored. I'm waiting for the day.
No,
I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I don't think it's going to happen. Now, we're going to talk about some of the initiatives and some of the exhibitions we put on. But what I thought we could do is get our first question. You got for a question? I'm up for a question. Now, this is Liam Kenny. He's a very good contributor to Sovereign Life. And he says, good evening, Mark. Good evening, Liam. Thank you for the time, giving all the time this evening. And he said, in the collection, are there any objects that you really struggle to work out what on earth they are? Any really oddities?
We have a quantity. I have my own personal specs files box, particularly things from the sort of 1700s, where all over Europe, all sorts of ceremonies were cropping up, none of which have been survived. And they're very esoteric, they're alchemical. We know that the right period, we talk to people, for example, down over in the Czech Republic, has found similar jewels in the Attic technology. But whether we're able to put two together, we do sometimes put them up on a good feed. We've put an ancient pretty bright little flying egg up, and it's made 1,000 hits. So we know some things, you and your people know more.
Yes.
We very much lean on the knowledge of people out there, the Freemasons.
And that's interesting, isn't it? There's some things you're not 100% sure what they are and their history behind them. What about you personally? Do you have a list of some things that you'd really like to get your hands on?
Yes, and some looks like that. And one of the more sensible ones, Lord Moira, when he wrote the deal, created UGLE, was given a fantastic diamond studded jewel with coral. Unfortunately, we didn't hear it by my niece, who took the diamonds out of Nick's yard and broke the collar chain up to make bracelets for her sisters. I know what they look like. If one never comes up to auction, we'll get it and put it back in the Royal Morris Jewellery.
Oh, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? And how many items on that I get this thing, you say?
That's probably about 20,000. There are sorts of things out there, and again, we've got some more today, but there's some we've never found, like your sports. Objects that don't like to die, things just appear from nowhere. And that's what keeps it exciting. You never know any morning you can see who you're going to talk to or what the new story might be that you can tell.
Well, I get that. Now, I thought we could talk about some of the wonderful exhibitions and initiatives that you've done here over the years. Pick me a couple that you've been really proud of, perhaps in recent years.
Well, where we're sitting is one, because this guy was going from nothing, using the reserve part of the museum for the Church of England. And it was an attempt to tell the whole story of English Freemasonry in one room.
Who's going to hear
It most of those. But we've done other ones that very locally. We did one on missionary Freemasonry on Trent Sharp. And then there's more things in the day made, for example, in the desert in World War II. Things that was in the war camps. Things that really speed the Freemasonry in control.
Right. And we've got a big list here to talk about 1723 constitutions and your exhibition here. It's safe to say it's been rather successful, hasn't it?
Oh, it really has. It's been a great opportunity to commemorate a book that's not as well known as it should be, but was absolutely governed from what's called the way it influenced Freemasonry globally, but the way it is in society. Rick Byrne obviously created it, alongside myself and admired, and it's there to get some very early pieces out. I've got the original flag of 1723. Two of the most important again at the time. We've been more to do with the man actually at the end of the year of the institution. We've got the personal copy house. We've got another that's actually got a dedication by James Atlas, the actual author. So there's not much actually. You've got museum objects for that in the very early period, but every single one you can find is there and you can see it now.
Wow. And that was maybe an extra special for you as well. Now, Ross is speaking. He said, what's the oldest article that you have in this museum?
It's Builder's Wall that was found in a tomb in Thebes. What? Yeah, ancient Egyptian wall,
And where is that? That obviously that's not on display, is it?
Yes, we've actually put it out.
Oh, fantastic.
Absolutely love it. We've got various pieces again. Sort of buildings. We've got a Cleopatra Palace. Even there's a Cleopatra Needle, because it was actually shipped back to London at the expense of Freemasons. And one of the Freemasons fell off. We've got various archaeological jewels we've got bits in.
Oh, so there you go. A lot of great questions. So, Ross, thank you very much indeed for asking your question. Keep them coming in. Ladies and gentlemen and brethren, usual procedure, question and answer facility on the bottom of your screen. Now, one of the reasons I'm really excited to see you today is because it's nice for people to meet you and find out more about the museum. But we gave you a little task to come up with some of those artifacts and objects that really excite you. So what we decided to do is break this up into phases. So first of all, Mark, royalty. Anything comes to mind when it comes to royalty?
There's something my peripheral vision can't quite place in.
This beautiful thing, this beautiful chair. I mean, it's incredible. Tell me about it.
This was created in 1791, the future King George IV. He was the first Royal Freemasons to become king, and Freemasons had just built the first Freemasons Hall. So it's a perfect timing. It cost £157 at the time, which is rather more now, one suspects, and it's immense. He was a very well-built chap. There are actually some cushions which can be put in it, more than means to sit in. It also flat packs. We did actually loan it.
Flat packs?
Oh, yes. We loaned it to Tullinghast and Dark. The whole thing goes apart like 18th century idea.
It's brilliant. I had no idea you could do that. And it's the largest thing in the collection.
Yes, by a long way. I think that's the largest one in the country. It was not as materials now. Never seen anything bigger. And it used to be more impressive. As built, it had gold free swags all over it, embroidery on the back. You want to put it back like that, or else it would take it. So it's currently looking as it would have been when the Duke of Connaught sat in it. It would have been judged on this building.
Now, who's the last person to place their derriere in that chair. I don't mean Dave the cleaner who occasionally is actually in a waiter. Who's the last person to actually sitting there?
It was duplicate, because when he became Grand Master, he actually seated in there. And that throne has seen the throne of Grand Master School with activation when brothers Kent and Sussex shook hands on the deal, and Sussex sat on the throne for the first time. That's incredible, isn't it? Whether it be used again, we'll have to wait and see. To be fair, we have actually managed to do is in there, but the general feeling was maybe not. It was quite hard to see what it would have been 100 years ago.
Would you say that is one of the most popular things that you have in this new theatre?
It's a magnet.
Yeah.
Everybody comes through. Big old throne. Yes, everybody loves it.
Well, it's fantastic. It does draw people's attention. And it's the reason why you placed it here, you first have been from the shop into the museum.
Yes. You see it, it's centred. We've also, on the other wall behind us, we've got a portrait of King George IV. So it's all here in the same space. Right. And the Duke of Sussex is over there, so all those buildings can come together.
Okay, it's perfect. Yeah. Perfect location for it. So that's Freemasonry and the royal family, and royalty. Freemasonry and adversity. Now, the world has gone through a lot of adversity, and the same applies to Freemasonry. What objects would you come to mind when you think of that side of Freemasonry?
There's one object, and it is said, if I could say one object, only one person in the side, it's that pouch in front. It's the Artemis jewel from a clandestine lodge in China, even to Singapore, under Japanese. Even in those conditions, the Freemasons were collecting charity, assisting people in sick births. They were fortunate that District Grand Master with them, they were able to initiate. That links everything. It links the friendship, the service, the integrity. It's all there in that one object. And it was actually created from the remains of a hot-down bus. Cut out between slips. You can still see the paint on the back. It's even from the Japanese when returned by the maker. It's a treasured object, even if it's itself fabulous. It's the way that was so powerful.
And one of that is powerful, isn't it? And the way you explain that and putting all that, the things that we volunteer together. What else would you say applies for you in this collection when it comes to adversity?
Well, with London and the Blitz, we have a number of things related to the Blitz, including one of our display cases from 1933 that's got shrapnel and from Dubai near this, only 1 street away. The Tecton Lodge, which was the Carpenter's company lodge, lost its livery, and its collecting plate had actually been presented by its mother lodge. But they were carpenters, so they took what was left, they spun a new support for it, pinned it together, kept collecting. And we've got a lot of those. We've got galleries made from the Guildhall, after the Blitz. Lots of people giving things to the museum during the war, thinking it's going to survive, you're going to survive. I'm sorry to say Tecton Lodge didn't continue, it erased, but it's remembered, and it's collecting dishes here, and all its records are preserved forever. If you're in the unhappy situation set for your lodge is closing, we very much want to hear from you, so we can preserve your memory and make sure all the right things get kept forever, not just for research, but to send to your memories. Every single document gets back into forever.
Keeps it alive.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what memories do, and that's what our artifacts do as well. And how important do you think it is for us to look at adversity within Freemasonry?
It's important. It shows people the different side of Freemasonry.
Yes, it does.
When they see the fun, they get why people do it. When they see Freemasons wanting to be Freemasons when it's dangerous and it's difficult, that says a lot more about how Freemasonry is than just being social fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It shows that different side of something. So we've looked at the royal family, and there's a beautiful chair over here. We've talked about adversity, but let's talk about inclusivity. What does that mean as far as this museum is concerned?
We try to be representative of your stories, and from the outset, Freemasonry has been a home for people who are otherwise outside society. We have, for example, Dr. Desiree, one of the founders of Grand Lodge, even a refugee. there was a Catholic Grand Master between the two Jacobite approaches. He didn't do anything else. He was Grand Master. We've got a wonderful jewel. It's actually Scottish Constitution. And it's a lot of family to bring together different communities in India. And it's got two men, Matthew Curator and Mohammed Abdullah, Parsi and Muslim, in the costume of their communities, wearing them as maidens and shades on the same day. They couldn't easily so pleasantly. So that can be used like art. That is powerful. And we've got this Jewish melons in the 1920s. And it continues all the way. I mean, you may know that Black Welsh this year, first time officially participating in the Pride March in London.
Yes.
And we've collected things related to that, not just the gender badges, the T-shirts. We also collected them from the MCF. We don't just grab large more widely. And this is stuff that's now. This is stuff that matters. And it gives a very strong message to people coming to this museum that Freemasonry doesn't exclude. That whatever they know about Freemasonry before they came here, there is a world for them if they wanted. One of the other powerful things is the rebrand rituals, which there was even a large form for people who thought there's something important.
Well, I didn't know that.
There's all these stories we keep telling ourselves.
And do you think people are surprised when they come in here and they find out how influenced we are? I mean, not just necessarily the museum, but how we are as an organisation. Is that surprising?
It does, because you look very forward.
Yes.
You see, our two guys at 20,000, we're doing all the clear in hand. But once you get talking, remember when the freshman group this fall, had to find journalists. It's a go to Freemasons, through the door. And there would be coming you'd never met anybody that and they knew the friends and brothers, and they just acted. It's what it is.
It's a great way of summing it up. So, let's have a look at modern intellects. Now, we look at the past, and we've got a lot of past to have a look at. Mark, when it comes to Freemasonry, especially, it's also really important that we look at where we are today. So, the modern collective, how does that work for you?
Well, the first thing to remember is people think using tobacco it's how fuel. It's like someone stealing things about coal. It's amazing. We all do it. We're doing it now. Every single person, every single moment of the day creates history. The trick is capturing it. The trick is realizing we're doing it. I mean, we're all sick of acting COVID, but we collected strikes that were made in the hospitals. We collected the temporary websites. We've got the story. Freemasonry COVID with COVID, keeping its members morale together, serving their communities. That's what was told. It might be 25 years before anybody wants to hear it again.
Yes.
But we've got it. We're also very interested in the origin stories of new lodges. Why did Freemasons decide this? What they wanted to do? What's the story? There's a collective path, there's a sideline, an anti lodge. We need to get these stories because people don't really capture them at the time.
Yeah. So how do you decide to collect? Is it out of the way or do you have a plan of action?
We have a plan. We want to collect particularly around blood news stuffs, the underprivileged, what they get to them, the university scheme, the new things. And I have a kitch. I've been hunting that single globe, which you can see in the next topic FMT, which was actually raised money for charity. That's the place to start when we're trying to revolve. Oh, that's but again, that's now this is 300 years. It's been possible for the trade itself to be made. It's not just what you think you need in your ceremonies, but the things you wear, the things you sound, chamber, part of the rolling kids. Your brand is well known as going to be COVID. That you are the original niche market. So again, we're looking at what's even in our own shop in Westall, what's being produced, what you want to buy, because that's something very that's the dynamic. There is an issue in this museum that you look traditional. Right. I've got to make you look at a the person to the organization issue but it's very, very easy for people to look past that.
Yes.
So the temporary effect is very important. We also collect, again, Women's Freemasonry. We collect across the family things.
Now, we've had Steve Jones drop us a question. Steve, good to hear from you. And by the way, just quickly, apologies if the sound isn't particularly great. I'm trying to work on that at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, so apologies for that. But Steve Jones got a question. He spied on beautifully talking about modern collecting. And he says, what are the museum items of the future that you would like to see? We've already touched on that, but you would like to see here in the future.
Anything that keys into principles.
Yeah.
Anything that keys into the new thing that Roger's done. The personal stories. And again, we don't necessarily have the physical objects. If you've done something digitally, that's fine for us too. We collect digital very much.
That's a really good point, yeah.
Yeah. We need the stories now. What have your achievements been? Who are the people that matter to you? Because that's how we can do it. We don't sort of people. The objects are just the way we do it.
Yeah, it's the celebration here is sweet, but it's also keeping us out of everything that we do. Steve, thank you very much indeed for your question. Keep those filling in via the question and answer facility on Zoom. By the way, we're talking about COVID.
Yeah.
We're talking about the masks. I think once again, everyone is not to talk about that. This is a strange period of time in the world at this particular museum. Did you see that as an opportunity to incredibly put in me when you've been looking into this?
We did. There were a lot of changes to us. Our future exhibition plans pretty much ground to a halt. It's been an opportunity to rethink and start to plan again. We're going to align with simple strategy, see how we can support that, what exhibitions will work. We've already got some ideas. We've had some changes in our trustees. It was a chance to breathe.
Yes.
And fortunately, in a day of digital, I didn't get the sack because I think the only way I could work from home was to go to the large bag and swag on the bag. But once we did it, massively improved our digital world. We didn't really have last time's digital before that. We've now got a YouTube channel. The category is online. There's a document called Blame Online, which is a big database of all lodges and their meeting places. And the Dynamic Holes and Leads submit periodicals online, which is a digitized search collection of everything from like sending arrows up to 1920s. How to videos on our YouTube channel, and have a poke around. There are stories, there are object armies, there's a lot there.
Well, we'll talk about that a little bit later, actually. But that's interesting, isn't it? Because we wouldn't want to go back to those dark days of COVID. But for a lot of people, it was a chance to get off that conveyor belt and have a look at what's going on. So let's get back to the items. The items that you chose specifically for us this evening. Royal Arch. That indissoluble link between craft and the Royal Arch is more strong than ever before, I would say. So what have you chosen with regards to the Royal Arch and this museum?
I've chosen my antiques roadshow because I was just sitting at the desk and somebody came and said, "We're emigrating." Straight as it happens. Went to the book dealer and said, "This is the sign you might want it." Dirty saying his caravans open, fast. And there is an 18th century Bible. Excellent Grand and Royal Chapter. Now, that was the original Grand Chapter by the premier Grand Bolts, the first Grand Lodge in the world. It met in the tavern, in Gerald Street in Soho, where the doctor's been to
Oh yeah, where was he learning?
Exactly, it's an answer completely independent of art. But it's incredible because we already had a duel for one of the members of that chapter, getting things on the slide, which is very long actually. Apart from that, it's not a good letter. You could probably get away with wearing it. I think those two things put together in the same room with the first Grand Chapter in the entire world, with the Grand Master and the Grand Squire.
So how did you feel? So were you the person dealing with that?
Yes, I think it was absolutely amazing. I did email John Hammond straight to somebody saw it. Oh yes, definitely. It was. I swear you never taken this with them. We thanks to the Grand Chapter, we were able to buy it. If you want to see where it next, poor old Goose Gridiron, where like lots of stuff be long demolished. Yeah, but the Turks said it's in a Chinese supermarket in Soho. So if you know where to look, you can look at the first floor and think, That's the first time all I've done.
Oh, that's incredible. What a great story. That is brilliant. And when it comes to Royal Arches, where are you invited to extend that BV?
I've actually shown the jewel on the slide. We've got beautiful things. It's nice what we store, sometimes just amazing. And that jewel, it's only about those. But you get away with the microscope. The detail and the quality of it.
The work we should do incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. And again, it also portrays of Cumberland as the very first prime principal in much more elaborate robes than they have to wear. Probably embroidered this too much.
That's fantastic. We're celebrating Royal Arch here, rightfully so. But what about any other additional ones? Are they in this museum?
Yes, they are. In this room, I can only reference Mark and Royal Black because they've got ceremony that goes down. But we've got all items from all of the initial orders. We've been very fortunate with my sculptors that they've actually given us set brigade. Because obviously there's a big boom in initial orders, economics. We tell the story of all of those images. And this is a very, very strong link between here and Mark Mason's Hall. We hosted an exhibition for 150th anniversary of Mark Mason's. We do create and do try to tell that story.
And do you find non-Freemasons, especially quite surprised when they hear this, there's other areas of Freemasonry that can be visited?
Yeah, and they've got no idea. They never know when they go to the shops to stare at alien. And to be fair, this grew out of physics, ancient quite large. It began in further students in ceremony in this country. And so we just thought, which is unique for them, because we have that ranking. Everywhere else, Royal Arch is a lot of degrees.
Well, listen, thank you for explaining that. And I know a lot of people wanted me to ask you that question as well. So back to the artifacts that you've chosen. And we're not just a museum here. We're a library and we've got a wonderful archives section as well. Tell me about that before we talk about a particular area.
Yeah, we've got 30,000 objects, we've got 60,000 books on our archives. Very, very rare things. I believe one of this was for every important most of our logs since the 2020s, the longest scientific documents in the world. From main venue, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've got records for some of the oldest objects we do not visit in the archive in Freemason's Hall. But again, if the lodge fails, it's records there. Its memory is preserved, and we've got hanging fabrics watching the Constitution, and some of them are thick and some of them aren't. Because again, if you're a sect, even if you're not going to watch history, do think of your history, be knows. We're interested in what we're going to return.
So, is there anything on display from the library archives at the moment that a visitor can go to explore and have a good mood?
Yes. At the moment, for the archives, the thing that excites me is a series of old books by a chap called who was picking around London as an archaeologist in the 1720s. And trying to work out what sort of symbol. Incredible watercolours. We'll probably never know who's right, but they have to be beautiful. Powerful figures, atrocious, all like something on Wallace and Gromit. We've also got 3 old charges in display. Those are the documents, the real stones that you have used, and very little on display. That is the basis of the Constitution. And of course, because of the Constitution, we've got books out. All of the editions of the Constitution on show, including the first edition, the one on the front of the piece, and we've got an exhibition at the moment of all the international editions, including dear old Ben Franklin, the American Revolution, producing a knockoff version. But again, that's the Royal Freemasonry of the United States.
Oh, fantastic. And if anybody wants to access those archives for their own research, and we'll talk about the family of Freemasonry in a second. How do they go about doing that? Do you have to book yourself in? You just turn up and
we do operate. Yeah, it's it's much more sensitive. Of course, contact us. You can look at the catalog lists and know we will operate. If you don't trust us, because we know our collection is the action, you could have that book, that are borrow a master object. The objects. And once there's a lovely man, he did a perfect thing about gallery, he's still gallery. which is a pity, because then missed the one I made the Zeppelin, missed the one that was one of the balustrade here. Neither might have Portugal in the hand. By repute, it was one in the parties in New Zealand in the day, now. So if you can come in research, you need to use the databases.
That's too bad, isn't it?
Too bad. And there's a lot of different stuff available. Doesn't cost anything. Anybody can become a member of the library. And you become a part of a family of researchers, whether it's somebody doing knowledge history, somebody doing family research, somebody coming in, people coming in for one of the additional degrees, and going through history of that.
It's a superb resource that we've got.
And you will make discoveries. I mean, we're going to our certificates, we've got our school fund branding. So we get students coming. And we just say, well, don't wait there. We can show you something that is seen you publish. But still, and again, we get people coming in who are not researching just Freemasonry, but they're researching civil war, they're researching 18th century. This is actually just better in the subjects, and it's a core to someone.
And when it comes to researching, would you say that's the most common way of
It's very,
it seems to be really huge at once. And I think that's thanks to the TV shows that have gone by. And also people just wanted to know if there's any Freemasons in the family.
yes. We get a lot of people. If it's before 1920, all the records from England and Ireland are digitized. You can search one ancestry. It's incredibly simple to do and very high quality. After that, you post on fee, it's actually got one fully Martin going down into the valleys of Freemasonry and actually built.
Feel a bit of grafting. Why don't they call them?
It's more of an art than a science. I'm very good at it. If your name is Arbuthnot in a village in Wales, we're on. If your name is Smith, it's an knowledge.
Might take a bit of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Occasionally it gets down to 2 or 3 names. I think which one of these 3. But it's doable. I mean, we do want to connect with that. Members too. They become a new Freemasons. They think, well, what's any of my family in Freemasonry? And very often they find that
because I joined Freemasonry online. Didn't have any members of my family with us. We wanted to dig deep and see for any members who were Masons over the years. So before we move on, let's talk about something sparkling and shiny. And those artifacts, those objects that make your eyes and heart sing.
Diamonds. The thing is, the collection's got lots of fun stuff. Because, like I said, Freemasons buy and Freemasons present things. People are amazing silver cups that almost like a biography of the man. You've got pocket watches. Sometimes they've got Freemasonry on the front, and you open them up and wine them. Yeah, there's the symbolism on the inside. Ceramics. Export horsemen if you're rich. There's not the wear if you're not. And any of you can fill your hands to cherry pots. Rolling pins, got them. Cherry mantle pot, yes. There's been marshals on display case. Teapot, yes, got teapot. Snuff boxes. Fine animal, if that's your thing. Or it can be a bit more wood. That's the thing. These are such human objects.
And what's the lovely about is sometimes artifacts and objects have a story behind them, and sometimes not. It can just be the fact that we enjoy looking at them for no other reason than that.
And that works.
Yeah.
There was a sort of tyranny about it, has to be storytelling, but even in this gallery, when there's a college chain by French friends, and if you know what it means, it's fascinating. But if you don't, you can just when we did an exhibition about the jewel, all the royal jewels were out, and kind of swaying them over there in a zoo, just they're very, very charming. Bit of a magnifice.
But it's as simple as that, isn't it? So all of these wonderful items and objects and monsters, you can go and see them all here in the Museum of Freemasonry. So thank you for choosing those books. Really enjoyed that. Before we say goodbye, a few more things I'd like to see to ask you. So how would you recommend Freemason makes the most of this particular museum? Because you've always got things going on.
Yes. We've always got an exhibition. We've got the permanent gallery here. I said online resources blogs. You can borrow them to the website. we've got objects, we've got stories, symbolism decoded, obviously not like soul, because we have cited movies. We're very much all members. If you visit each your museum, if you happen to come to a meeting in the Grand Temple, the buildings are members only in those days. So you've got the museum to yourself. So make the most of it. If you're in here, do say hi. Come in, greet us, have a chat, and you might well find there's things that are relevant to you. Military history, and these points. Ceramics, glass, jewel collector, still, and waters. Now we're here for you. And don't forget your provincial museums, of course, because Worcester, Warrington, Kent, all accredited.
Yeah.
And there are many other sites, all of which are doing a similar job to us, but local to you. And we will talk to each other.
So how do you work for those who want to see some of the things that you've not got on display? Because you can't have anything on display. I mean, it'd be impossible.
It's totally impossible. You literally just need this. Just say, I'm interested in this. We can advance. And I don't need you to do research. I don't need you to be particularly serious. If you just want to see something, I'll get it out for you. You want to see every research still? Fine. That's the we're here for you. We are a service industry. And I've never met anybody who had a chat about learns and finding out something didn't work.
Oh, that's what it's all about. Peter Ashton. Peter, a very good evening to you. Thank you for stopping by and contributing to our Solomon Live this evening. He would like to know, are you planning to expand the museum? Because there's a lot of stuff in here. Everyone's been spoken about, and there's a lot of stuff that could be here. Wonderful items not on display. Any place to take over a little bit more space? Some of these Freemasons get in the way. We've got our space now for years. We do grow. In fact, if you're near the city of London until the middle of November, Treasures of Gold and Silver Wire and the Guild of Gallery, George VI and William Kimber in the 4th Regalia on loan. And if you don't want to pay £10 to go in, you look for them and see them from there. That's one way.
We do that in the centenary we hold across the nation. And we've had some the Boyd collection this year. We've got a loan going to Finland. So again, we do try to get the collection out of the stores as well as we can. To spread the message online. And we talked about the 1723 Constitutions exhibition earlier on. Very, very successful, I have to say. You must be delighted with that. How long is it on for, and what will replace it? In theory, it starts at the end of the year. I think it's finalised well since next summer. Which so take the opportunity, because most of the things in there are sensitive, they won't be seen again for a generation. So make the most of that and do visit Rick's website. That's I really think as I said, we're at reset. The trustees are producing a new strategy for the post-COVID museum. One idea perhaps is to take the story on from 1723 into the second half of the 1700s. The aim is to kind of launch on the birth of the Royal Arch. Which would be great. Yeah. Not guaranteeing. One of many ideas under the second moment. If we meet again in this room, we'll pick up with a new exhibition to tell you about. Oh, very fantastic. We'll have to go back and do it again. Mark, I've loved talking to you. I've learned so much, everybody watching has learned so much as well. Because, as I said earlier, I think we know about this wonderful place. The jewel in our prayer and Freemasonry, but I think we've discovered lots. What are your priorities for the future? So you've been here since 1999. No plan to disappear. We got that live on the Solomon Live earlier. What are your plans for the future? What are you looking at? 5 years, 10 years, for the next generation? It's entirely unknown for most. If we work on strategy, we need to capture what's happening. Which Freemasonry is changing from modernity. That's something to document, because we're here to display, but we're also here to accumulate effects. It's the modern stuff for us. But of course, something that's happened to the power there. Think it'll take the problems. We wouldn't say no, but that's very much serving the membership, serving you, and telling your story. Because the stories keep coming. The other thing, of course, is history can be really in support of organisation change. I know, Sir Brian Ullman, our then chair, was doing all strengthening the department. I was front and centre, writing articles, doing this way, saying, change happens. We've heard change before, and if you do it again, we're a nice part. And I think Freemasonry, it's tiny things, with incredible style, with no reason it should have moved outside London. But it got across the channel and global. There's no reason it should have lasted for 50 years, but here we still are. It's that story, the future of that story, that drives me to do it.
Mark Dennis, Curator of the Museum of Freemasonry, I'd love talking to you. It's been an absolute pleasure. I've thoroughly learned. But have you, sir, enjoyed your summer life experience?
I have.
Hang on, there's a pause there.
I'll tell you when I've seen the video.
Yeah, we'll watch it back there afterwards. It's been lovely to see you, Mark. Thank you for hosting so lovely today. And this place, what a wonderful place. Everybody should go and visit it. Ladies and gentlemen, and brethren, one for your diary. Our next Silver Night will be on Tuesday, the 7th of November, where our topic will be Freemasonry and the services. As we approach our message today, we reflect on those who have chosen the life of service and how that camaraderie and connection merged beautifully with Freemasonry. So that's Tuesday, the 7th of November. We're live. Put that date in your diary, and as always, 7:30 UK time. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you register for solomon.ugme.org.uk, full of useful and fantastic content for your daily advancement in Masonic knowledge. Until our next happy meeting, have a wonderful night, and we'll see you here next week. Good evening, everybody.